DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Hey, hope you're well. It is Sunday afternoon. Oh, late afternoon. It's 5:30 over here in the afternoon, and it is 25 degrees Celsius. Short sleeves, Bermudas. It's like summer. I don't know how long it'll last. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Anyway, so I didn't get out the vlog in the morning. I was a little bit too late. And we had, I think I might have mentioned it, but if I didn't this time, I do at least once or twice a year. Twice a year, at Easter season and in September, we get like a carnival, kind of a carny type thing that's over in the park that way, the other side of the house, right opposite the pond where I walk often. And they've got, games and stuff like that. And there's people that, there's two twin brothers. Well, no, actually, they're not two twins. Well, yeah, they're two brothers, but they're twins. And they, I don't know if they're like the owners, but they're some of the responsible people. And they, amongst others, they make churros. Do you know what churros are? Churros are like, okay, it looks like it's a mixture between a donut, because it's like donut pastry kind of, and it's fried in deep fat, okay, like a donut, and it's usually in sugar. And if you're in Spain, it's a Spanish thing, and if you're in Spain, you get this with melted chocolate. I didn't take the melted chocolate. It's very much, well, it's kind of like a donut. I say kind of, because it's not the same spices. But it's really quite nice. And the funny thing is the twins, like I say, these guys are, well, they must be in their mid-50s, I guess. And yeah, so it's kind of like a press type of thing, and they make the dough, they pass that through that, and it falls straight into the hot oil. But when you have the Spanish people, and we get a lot of Spanish people that live around here, and they all say, they're all kind of like surprised, that two Swiss guys can make churros that are just like the real thing. And I kind of laugh, because I think, like, well, all they've got to have is the right apparatus that makes them in the right way, and it's deep fat fried. But anyway, have you ever noticed that people that don't do cooking or stuff like that really get impressed sometimes, or surprised when people do, I was almost going to say, what are simple things. Anyway, I was going to chat about something else, but I ended up with Mrs. DC because it's their last Sunday. We've got 2 weeks off. The children have 2 weeks off at Easter, and today is the last day off. So that's why I say they are off. No, I was going to chat about something else. I was looking at what was it exactly now? All of a sudden, those of you who vlog know what I mean. All of a sudden, you think you're going to vlog about something and you forget. And there's the introduction to the vlog, which I forgot, but I did know that I was going to chat about, this was my yearbook at the university. So when I got my BSc, so my first degree over in Sherbrooke, and that's in Quebec in Canada. Isn't he nice? Yeah, look at that. Hasn't aged very well, has he? Anyway, but that's a funny thing. But why I'm bringing that is that I was going over things, and oh yeah, now I know what it was. The other day I was on LinkedIn, and those of you who know what LinkedIn is, it's kind of, I often say it's a Facebook for business people. It's not a bad, actually, social media if you're into business and trying to, kind of grow your network. And I fell on on a person. I mean, because there are not that many people actually in my promotion here who are from who are on LinkedIn, because many of them simply didn't. I don't know why. Actually, having said that, but those of them that are, well, let me see if I can put one person. I'll hide her name. Oh, if I can hide her name, like this lady. Now, it was quite interesting because when we were in our class, she was kind of like I was going to say the hot lips Houlihan of the. Maybe I should put it that way, but we would have parties, and we'd often have parties in different apartments and so on. And sometimes there was this well-known party that we had. I say well-known because it was in the class lore, where somebody had drunk too much and he really, really had to quickly get into the bathroom. And the bathroom was locked because, well, she was in it with somebody else. The only problem was that the guy that she was with, was engaged. It was anyway. So of course it made a big story, which never changed things in life. But so why I get back to that is because I saw on LinkedIn, like she's retirement age, and she is heading a big consultancy office. Really interesting, sometimes when you see how the people evolve. Of the people of my class, I mean, there was one guy who was a really nice guy, and he was a teacher. He went and taught in the northern part of the country, so Canada, the northern part of the country to, mostly Inuits and so on. I mean, and so you kind of like follow up where the people ended up. I still see one guy, I won't pull out his picture, but one guy who we were having our first weeks, and we were kind of like on an overhang when we were looking down, and there were the people of the class. We were supposed to go meet them. And so this is like the first week of the first year. And he's looking down, and he says to one of his buddies, because they were two that came from the same high school together, and he looked around, and he looked and he said, "You see all those ladies? Well, they're all on my list. I won't get into the details." He was pretty successful, actually. But having said that, this guy was nothing much in the whole 3 years, but he ended up actually becoming a pretty well-known professor in biochemistry. And I mean, like, again, it's on LinkedIn. I saw all this, and he has quite a following in biochemistry. Very good professor. Yeah. Then there's another lady that I studied with, that she went off and ended up doing some really nice work in France. In France, she was in again, a type of consultancy office on quality control. Then there was myself that went off to England and to Oxford and ended up in Switzerland. Then there were other people, a few others. Let me see now. I think we were probably four. I think we were four that did PhDs. So the two ladies I mentioned, myself, 5. One guy who started his own business, and another person who worked for a really big pharmaceutical company that closed all its offices in Canada. I think he probably changed jobs twice, but finally, ended up in a really, really nice position in a pharmaceutical company. Kind of, well, I mean, actually, I say that because he was at the time my best friend. We still communicate every now and then. That kind of brings one up to how you manage, I mean, your friends from the past and so on. I'm looking at the time, I'm up to 10 minutes. Well, I guess I'll have to go on a little bit, but it was interesting because there was another lady that I worked with, had classes with. Oh, she was, just put it this way, she liked me a lot. And she was very insistent at times. Well, not too long ago, I saw that she became a member of a sect of some type, and she's kind of like, I was almost going to say the marketing person of that sect. So it's kind of interesting and scary, especially when you, like I say, when I think about, how interested that she was in me at the time, and so on. When you look at, like I say, with my yearbook, and you go on, and first off, you see there's a few that you know where they're at, and most that you don't. And sometimes, really, when you look over the people of your past, you think like, wow, I look at my story, and then I look at the little bit that I know of theirs, and it's how you think like, wow, you cannot predict life, can you? And you shouldn't try. Yeah. Okay, that is really just a little hint. Maybe I'll get into more little stories of people of the yearbook, but I'm up to 11 minutes and some on, so I'm going to stop there. But yeah, I'm going back to my churro. So, DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and I hope you have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.